Hi everyone, it's Kristen here at Blackfish Gallery. We're really excited to open our new show, the Love Politik One World Indivisible. We've got 45 artists showing in this show. So throughout this evening, we're going to introduce you to many of the great works on the walls. This show is really about love and bringing great energy that is much needed right now to the world. We're, as you know, it's kind of cliche at this point to say that we're living in unprecedented times, that we're really at a crossroads right now, especially in this country where we have to decide our future, what we want that to look like when it comes to climate, health, and the economy, our leadership, social justice. These are what this show tackles, all these issues, and really proud to be part of the membership here that is not afraid or shying away from talking about these issues. So with that, I am opening up the conversation to you all. Please, you viewers that are at home, please type in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to have a Q&A later this evening, so please stick around or just leave your comments, and you can always catch the replay and see the artist's response to your comments. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelsey. I will be handling the camera today, and I'm going to take you guys on a tour. If anyone wants a closer look at any piece of art, just say that in the comments and we'll get you a closer look. There's some really interesting details that just don't come through in a static photo on a lot of these. Here's a work by Kanetaka Ikeda, an artist from our show last month. Looks like one's already sold. I want to do some prints of it.
Performance art. Friday after that we had indie music. Friday after that was jazz.
I'll be in the jazz one.
The jazz is Merridawn Duckler.
Oh, okay. What's the one with Norman Sylvester?
That's the blues.
Oh, the blues one.
Yeah, that's the last night.
Okay, cool. So do you have a piece in here?
So Dio asks where he can see this work in person. You can see it at Blackfish Gallery, which is in the Pearl on 9th and Gleason. And we're open Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as Saturdays from 11 to 5. You can also schedule an appointment with our director for another time.
Yeah, this is cool. I like it.
I gotta show you this.
It's made out of matte. It's very provocative.
She has a 4-year-old granddaughter.
Good Mormon sheep.
Masks for the 3-year-old granddaughter.
Thanks. This is my great grandfather's hat.
Made more masks
Rocket today.
for this art piece.
Oh wow, I didn't realize this was made out of masks. That's
Isn't that
cool.
cool?
Yeah.
What are you buying?
I'll go check out your piece, Christopher. I'll be right back.
I haven't even seen the show in person yet, so I'll have to go along. Oh, excellent.
This is another piece that isn't quite the same on video or in a photo. It's really actually three-dimensional.
We need more love.
By Rachel Zur. It's called Thrift Store Chair / Beloved.
Oh, that's your piece? Yes, sir. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
You zoom out so you can get this entire painting. And then zoom in because it's also really cool.
That's nice. I love music, so I'm gonna look forward to seeing some of the performances. I like performance art too. So I've heard Nomer Sebastian. He's good. I know he's good. Art is great. I went to his show at CSU in March. Right. The new Smithsonian Museum, right?
Whoa. This one's so different on camera. It's actually very reflective. So it's a gray flag, oil on canvas, but this material is so reflective. It's very different in person. You have to come down to the gallery and see it.
When I didn't know if I was going to participate, and then I think I took that shot, and I was just like, I know what I'm going to do. I was like, I got it. So, appreciates it. Thanks. Hey, Alice, I know you did it before. I'm trying to remember how I did it.
This is really cool too. This Jeffrey
Which one?
Hughes.
Which one do you like?
This is one of them. There's a lot of good work.
Yeah. And then the final work that you have to see
Virtual First Thursday, so
is actually outdoors.
camera, just go around. And, we have a group show, so you'll see some of the artists here.
Awesome.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
This is the work by the show's curator, Christopher Shotola-Hardt, a neon piece, Be About Love, which is also the title of our show. And Stephen Cohen is setting up for his performance later this evening. Stay tuned for that. And in our Fishbowl too. Whoa. Definitely setting up. Hello.
I don't remember. I promise you, I was like, I had a hard time. The internet
Can't get on?
is lagging. I'm gonna grab my sheet. I think we are
Let
at
me
COVID capacity.
hand you off to Sue, if I may, for a quick tour of the gallery while I handle some technical issues.
Hi, how are you two doing?
If you would take this, Sue.
Good.
Oh.
Are you artists have signed up or just coming back for the first Thursday?
Train it at the gallery and take a quick little walk around. I'll be done in a minute.
Okay.
I maybe made a mistake in that there were 4 people in here that were just pop-ins. Let me go double check, but I think we're at capacity right now. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Actually, we're perfect. You guys have it. As long as we stay up here. Yep, you're good. Yeah, you guys are 9 and 10.
Take your pictures. Thanks.
Okay, take care. Have a good night.
All right,
Okay.
I'm
Here's
back.
Kelsey.
Thank you so much, Sue.
Yeah, you're welcome. I like your necklace.
Oh, thank you. Who did the irregular piece that looks like it's on canvas? Linda asks. Are you referring to this one? Halfway down the left wall. Okay. Let's look. I think I see which one you mean. Is it this one, Linda? If it is this one, Sal Strom did this piece. And I'll give you a little bit of a closer look at it. There's a lot of little details. It's made with cheesecloth, acrylic, and silk. Oh. Let's see. Which other one would be good to get a nice close look at? How about this piece? It is by Hector H. Hernandez. It's called The Codex of Immigration. It's ink and metal embossing on a mate? A mate? I don't know what that is. I need to do some research. I think this part's my favorite part of it. I love that wolf. There's Christopher. Coming up at 6:20, we're going to hear from him a little bit about the show. A little bit of a closer look at this piece by Carol Benson. I didn't realize earlier, but it's made out of face masks. Very cool. Are you all set up?
I'm all set up,
Great.
ready to go.
No, it's gonna work. It's just annoying that
I also really love the color and delicacy of this piece by Anne Mavor.
So why is not sending me the square
It's called Merging, Squash on Paper. 6:20? Christopher and Stephen. Let's go get Christopher and Stephen to talk about the festival. Yes?
Yeah, we can do that.
Go one at a time and unmask.
All right. Which one of you would like to go first?
You go first. You want to go first, Christopher?
All right. Chris is up. Let me hand you the microphone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, welcome, Facebook viewers, to our opening tonight. We're Blackfish Gallery. This is some programming that has been in the works for over a year, and we are excited that it is up now, and especially at this time. You know, a year ago, we felt like this content was necessary, and we did not foresee COVID-19. We didn't foresee the systemic racism in our country coming to a boiling point with all the protests happening in our streets in Portland and really in cities across the entire world. So, coupled with a lot of the protests, there's been some violence and some property damage, and I know personally that part is difficult. The title of this show is Love Politik, One World, Indivisible, and the intent there is to try to start ironing out the differences and finding some potential bridges where we can meet and talk and start to develop some compassion, some empathy, some understanding with those who think differently and those who are from other cultures and other races than we are. So this month was important. We have a juried art exhibit featuring artists from throughout the Portland metro area and people from very diverse backgrounds. Artists are wanting to speak out and to talk about things that matter deeply to them, their concerns about the world. One of the nice features here at the gallery, we have a little QR codes that are next to each label. And when you're in the gallery, or even when you're online, we have a statement booklet that's in a flip book format that you can view the work and read about what the artist intended with his or her or their message.
Can you talk a little about the music festival, because Stephen's going to be playing next?
Yes. So this is a visual art show. We also have the Be About Love Festival, which every Friday night at 7:30 we have a premiere streamed music and performing art event. So there are 5 Fridays in September or October, and the first one is tomorrow night. Songwriters and poets. And Stephen, whom you're going to meet in just a moment, is one of our songwriters and also one of the co-curators for the festival. But the other things that we have coming up, there is a performance art night. We have a performance duo, an Arab-American poet and a jazz improviser. They do some performance artwork together. We have a theater piece, a very experimental theater piece presented in kind of a TikTok fashion with artists who live just 3 blocks from here and some even in Belgium. And then we have dance by Kayla Banks, some choreography that was filmed in some sites around Portland. We have a jazz night, work that has been commissioned just for the Be About Love Festival, curated by the Portland Jazz Composers Ensemble. It's a song cycle. The lyricist is the internationally renowned Marilyn Keller, who will also sing her works, and then she's working with the internationally renowned pianist and jazz pianist and composer Daryl Grant, and they'll play with the quartet. That'll be coming up. We have an indie music night. There's Olivia Aubrey and her band. She is, interestingly, the night it was announced that we all had to go into quarantine was the first night of a West Coast and European tour. And it stopped the night they played 1 gig, and that was it, and there were only a few people in there because people were afraid to come in. And then incidentally, the other band is my group, Bug Toast. We're going to open for Olivia Aubrey. We're a progressive folk ensemble. And another little COVID story, we have a political album, incidentally called Be About Love, that we recorded the weekend before quarantine, so we felt like we just got in there in the nick of time. And then we're going to end the whole thing on the 30th of October. We will have Blues Night with 3 of the most well-known blues artists in the area. We have Terry Robb and LaRonda Steele and Norman Sylvester. It is going to be fantastic. The last 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the gallery was closed. This room was not, looked like a movie set. We had lights, audio equipment, cables all over the place, and we filmed nearly all of the performances with the art as a background. So you'll want to check that out. And every Wednesday, we have a interview with the artists, and it's a panel of artists. The interviewer is our director, Kristen Solomon, and every panel has 4 parts to it. 2 of the performers whom you will see perform that Friday, and then we have 2 visual artists. We have a guest artist, and then we have one of our Blackfish members. And we've already filmed 2 of those. They're Zoom interviews, so everyone's is safe at home. And the discussions, they're very moving, and you'll get to hear some deep things about the art that's being presented on the gallery walls and on the stage, which happens to be here in the gallery.
Dio, one of the watchers, asks if they need an appointment to attend the festival tomorrow.
They do not. All you have to do is to go to our web homepage, www.blackfish.com, and there is a video player that will stream the event live. And let's say that you're late and you don't make it right at 7:30. You can start it whenever. You can be 15 minutes late and not miss anything, or get hungry and want to have some bowl of ice cream and then come back and you can review. It's cool. So I hope you get to see it.
All right, shall we go talk to Stephen now?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. All right. You're up.
Okay. Sister, did you mention your family performance? I don't know. I did not. I will. Okay.
Here's the microphone.
And the microphone right here?
Microphone right there. You can also clip it to your shirt if you'd like. Your shirt pocket.
Oh, no, it's good here.
Okay, great. You're on.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start. No questions. I'll do the answers before the questions. Okay.
No questions yet. Everyone, if you have any questions for Stephen, let us know. He's going to be performing soon. And why don't you talk about the family matinee first?
Yeah, I'm going to. So we have. Christopher told you about the 5 nights of incredible performances we have, and then we're also going to have a family performance, a matinee that I just filmed yesterday, and that is one of the disadvantages to this whole COVID thing is people haven't been able to play for live audiences. We did the best we could with the performances here, and I think it came out really well. The family performance, I did bring an audience, and the audience is some homemade sculptures that I made. They're musical sculptures, and they have faces, and you can play them. And I go out into the audience and actually play them during the performance.
Oh, that's great.
And there's also a big stuffed dog and a bear. So I put the audience. I did my performance over there which was one of our stages, and then I had the audience out there. So I had a real audience, as best it could be.
This is next Sunday, right? Not this Sunday?
This is next Sunday. Yeah. This is on the 11th, and it's also it's interactive. So I encourage people at home, and it's for all ages, from babies to little kids to teenagers to grown-ups. And I in the performance, I encourage everyone to sing along, to dance along, to bang on anything they can find. I show a lot of the homemade instruments that I've made, and then I show them how they can make their own homemade instruments to join the fun.
Great.
Yeah.
How did you get the name Three Hand Stephen? That's what you're also known as?
Yeah, Three Hand Stephen. That goes way back. When I went back to school at University of Oregon, I got a degree in art years and years ago, and I wandered into the metalsmith class, and ended up being my visual art medium, and I made some pins with 3 hands, some musical pins. And so it kind of, that's my logo. And it also I play a lot of different instruments. I make instruments, and I play a lot of different, I really need 3 hands to play them all. So that's how I got the 3 hands.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great. And you're going to be playing for us in a few minutes, actually, right?
I'm going to be playing right here. Yeah, I'll be playing in the Fishbowl out there.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I will let you go finish setting up for that while I give everyone another tour of the gallery.
Great. Okay.
And we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Let me know if there are any pieces that you want to see more closely. There's a lot of great details on all of these. Let's see. Let's look at this one a little closer. This one's by Larry Quick. And I'm not going to try to pronounce the names of where it is, but it's that. I love, I don't know, I feel like you can look into his soul. It's a very, very powerful photo. This is by Blackfish member Paul Missel. It's called The Whispering Journey. Hello. Oh, of course, yes. I can tell by this eye squint. Yeah. I'm also going to go check on the time. Coming up, we do have a performance with Stephen outside. What is the time, ladies? 6:35. 6:35. We have 5 more minutes so we can tour some more. Hi, Alice. Hi. I realized I actually didn't show you guys my painting. This is my painting. It's called Here. It's a really personal painting for me. That is about the fear of loss and just the comfort of hugging someone, which I think is especially poignant now where we can't have physical contact. Erin would like to see R.V. Smith's work. Hi. Hello. I'm going to go right behind you. This is R.V.'s work. It's a very large painting. Oil on canvas. It's called Hands Against the Wall. It was painted in 2020, so it's very new and relevant. There's a gunshot. There's a gun. And I don't know much about the personal backstory of this. Erin, maybe you can chime in. I'm sure you maybe know a little bit more, but I think it's a very powerful piece and very relevant to the current events going on. Would anyone else like to see another painting close up? Let's see. Which one shall we look at this time? Let's look at Chaya Wilson's Loving Call to Arms. It's a multimedia piece, and as with everything in the gallery right now, there's a lot of different details.
We actually have the artist for that piece, and she would love to talk about your piece for a minute before the performance in 5 minutes. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
So which piece is yours?
This piece here.
The Loving Call to Arms. Hello. Yeah. Would you like to stand in front of your piece while you talk about it? Okay, and you can take your mask off if you're comfortable with it. And here is the microphone so everyone can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just put this on here.
Yeah, flip it to your shirt.
All right.
So tell us about your piece.
All right. So I'm a ceramic artist, and I really was drawn to this call because it's all about love, and that's what I'm all about. So I sort of pulled from a couple of traditions with the Durga, Lakshmi, with the arms, the compassionate, loving arms, and then I pulled from Nigerian mask work. For the face. And so basically this piece is radiating love and drawing from lots of spiritual traditions that I imbued and I felt while I was making the piece. So I made each of these arms out of terracotta clay.
Okay.
And in each hand is a piece from nature, except for this one heart that an artist friend of mine, Susan Drews, made out of copper many years ago to to work together, and this was the first time it came into a piece. But this is connecting nature to us, and the call to loving arms is what we really need right now as an antidote to all that's going on. And so I want everyone to be able to feel the presence of the love that's all around at all times.
It definitely radiates that, I think. I can see it.
You can see it in the eyes, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love to do faces, I love to do masks, and I love to create emotion.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this show.
Yeah, and thanks for interviewing me. I'm really glad to be here. Really appreciate it.
Let's go watch the performance then, if I may have
Yeah,
the microphone back.
we're at that point. What's your name?
My name is Kelsey.
Kelsey?
Yes. My piece in the show is right next to the flowers up at the front.
Oh, the hands? Oh my God, that was the piece I wanted to come see so bad.
Oh, really? Oh, thank
I
you.
really related to that piece. Made me cry.
Yeah, that one's a really personal, emotional. It's actually my mother and stepfather, and there was a bit of a health crisis in our family, and that's about the fear of change and losing someone, and just wanting to hold on.
It really radiates. So is your stepfather still alive?
He is, yes, thankfully.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And grandma?
Both of the people in the photo are still alive.
I'm
or
so
the
glad to
painting.
hear that. I really wanted to know.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the piece that we're talking about that I showed you guys earlier. Thank you.
I love seeing it in person.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go set up for Stephen. And everyone, let me know if the sound is good or bad. This is our first time having music on Facebook Live. And I don't want it to be too loud, and I'll try to adjust as necessary, so let me know. one more coming up. Let's go do another tour. Maybe I should wait. I think there's too many people in the gallery right now.
No, there's not.
There's not? Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so
Hello.
much for coming in.
I love your umbrella.
Oh, you like the parasol?
Oh, the parasol, yes. I'm sorry. Correct name, parasol.
Perfect. I think we can.
Thank you.
Got it.
Is it okay?
Please do. Yes. Yeah. These are all the top show of artists.
How many people showed up when you were there?
Love Politik one right here. It has lots of information about access.
Okay. Let's look at this painting. It's called Red Door Pilgrimage by Randall Vermeer? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
You're perfect. You're on number 9, so feel free to come in.
Here's a piece called Persister, Tara Tribes by Tara Sentibear. What else should we go look at more closely? If you have anything you want to see more closely, just let me know. Here's some work from an artist that was in our July show, Black Power is a Color. Her name is Christine Miller. And this is a part of her Intentional Black Definition series. This is a work by Myra Clark. I love it so much, which Myra knows I am partial to gold leaf. It's called Our Lady of the Sign. It's egg tempura, which is not easy to work with, and gold leaf. It's beautiful, Myra. And this is called The Twitter Flag by Kara Kitchen. Let's read a little bit. It's cotton embroidery and felt on burlap sandbags. Here's a work by another Blackfish member, Angela Palaska, called Daughter of Hestia. And this is by Bob DeZono. He works with garbage and recycled materials. This is a part of his Kissable Ugly painting, number 3. They're very dimensional. If you have any questions for our artists, don't forget to ask them in the comments. We'll be having a Q&A session with some of them later this evening. And I am going to leave you here with Edie for a moment.
Suggestive of the bubble.
Well, I go check on our next
So, any
person
thoughts?
to talk to.
Any thoughts?
Keeping it stationary. Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, because we definitely need National Bubble Day.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Don't you think?
I am kind of new to the area too, so I think being involved, the gallery really helped me meet all the people that work here, but also meet artists this way.
Oh, cool.
And then, yep. And I think, you know, finding the people that you want to connect with.
Okay.
Do you have, we
Okay.
have Alicia at 7:20.
At 7:20.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
before
so more
you-
time than I thought. I thought it
Yeah,
was at 7.
so do you want to do another tour? Do you want me to take it out there?
I think I'm going to take it out there and we'll talk to... I'm going to take you guys outside again, and we're going to go listen to
Okay, so
Stephen a little bit more.
I think we might be at 10, but let me double check.
One less.
Hector, one of the artists.
Oh, hi, Hector. Hi. Here's one of the artists, Hector. Say hi for Facebook Live. Are you joining us later this evening for the Q&A, or?
Yeah, I mean, this is like this part of the
Great. Well, we can talk to you a little bit later then, unless...
yeah.
Hey, Chris. Aaron is asking if CDs are available.
Of Stevens? Yes. All of the artists who are performing in this festival have CDs available. And in our program, which you can look at online on our homepage, it's a flip book, full color. You can read all about the artists, and there are links to their websites, and you can get information about purchasing recordings, digital or physical recordings, on their website. So check that out.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
like that one, and then you see somebody else's, and you're just like, don't know if I understand it, but I like it still too. So yeah.
Listen to one more song and then go back for another tour. And coming up soon is Alicia Decker to talk about her piece, a part of the Portland Textile Month, and Fishbowl too. Do you remember what the name of this painting is? Someone is asking and I totally spaced it.
Oh, it's Clint Brown. I will go look up the name of the painting right now. I don't remember the name either, but it is Clint Brown's. Surprised we don't have a label on the window. Okay. That was Anticlimactic Dancers is the name of the painting by Clint Brown. Good job, Stephen. I really enjoyed that.
That was wonderful, Stephen. Thank you.
Sounds real good. That was great.
All right, shall we go for... Oh, one more song. Looks like it has one of his homemade instruments. Really interesting.
That's Kristen. I'm Alice. No, that's great. Okay, let me. I think
I think Stephen's coming outside.
This is called the one-string thing, this instrument.
You made it, right?
This is one of my homemade instruments, yeah.
Cool.
Just a sec, I'm gonna get a chair.
All right. You can use the black one that's right there.
What's that?
You can use the black one right there.
Oh, there's a chair. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think this cord will reach each inside.
All right.
I'm gonna turn down the volume just a little bit. I think this one gets a little loud. All right, so here's the one-string thing.
All right. Let's hear it.
Well, let me turn it up a little bit. So I made this so I can see what I could do with one string.
All right. That's interesting.
You can do
You can do a lot more with one string than I expected.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more.
All right.
I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of one string. I can make this one string thing sing. Call it pop, call it blues. Put it on the evening news. No one plays it like I do. I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of one string. I'm the king. I'm the king. I'm the king of one string. Fred. He liked to sleep on our bed. He liked to eat. He liked to sleep. He was smart as a boy can be. We had a dog, a pug named Fred. He liked to sleep on our bed. He liked to eat. He liked to sleep. Isn't that a lot? Like you and me. Pugs do waddle when they walk. Pugs do listen when you talk. We had a dog, a pug named Fred. He liked to sleep on our bed. And I'll be doing that song at the family performance,
Oh, great.
along with a song about my cat. Points to the compass. North by northwest. Human input. Human stream. 1,000 voices. 1,000 dreams. That's a piece I'll be doing on my songwriter's night.
you. Make sure to tune in this Friday and also for his children's or afternoon matinee, family matinee on the 11th. Now, let's go check in on the time and see where our next person to interview is.
Let me do a quick count, and then I can let you know if we have room.
Thank you.
7:20. It's 7:20, so we need to go find Alicia Duckler.
Is that you? Yes.
Is that you? Are you Alicia? We found her. Hi. So it's time for you to talk. Would you like to go do it in front of your piece?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let's go. Thank you. It is cotton.
It's 1970.
I got it at New Seasons.
Where?
New Seasons?
Oh, okay. Really good vibe. Yeah. Well, thank you for doing
No worries. All right. So we have Alicia. Here's the microphone.
Thank you.
You want to flip it to yourself and your creator moves your mask.
Oh,
Because we're outside and
safe zone.
fit that. All right. Tell us a little bit about your piece.
Let's see where it's a long story. So I moved to Oregon maybe a year and a half ago from California, and it was around like the impeachment situation going on. The country is, I don't know, just the turmoil in the country brought me to a community conversation that Oregon Humanities was hosting called What Does It Mean to Be an American? And looking for community in Oregon and dealing with the political climate going on, I was immediately like, I want to go to this talk. And in doing so, I met the facilitator of the talk, who I found out is doing these talks all over Oregon. And the talk was really therapeutic for me to get in a room with people from all ages, all nationalities, walks of life. Like, it was pretty amazing to have people come in a room and talk about that topic. It's very rare. And so in learning that she does this all over Oregon and wanting to kind of open it up and to try and bring awareness to it and have more people engaged in this question and this topic. And also as a researcher, I'm a PhD student as well. My research hat on, I'm like, I want to document this. So what you have here is a text-based documentation of all the words that were said during these conversations all over Oregon the last year or so. So yeah, these words are not mine per se. They're people, they represent things that people have actually said across Oregon. So.
Oh, wow. Get a closer look then.
Yeah.
So you've done a few of these events then where it's facilitated with conversations? Or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been to 4 of the conversations myself. Each one of them was amazing. Yeah, so we have words that are definitely critical of democracy and the current political climate, and then we have words that are really hopeful and really celebrate American values. They really it runs the full gamut of what people think and what they're thinking about. So, and I think bringing people together and talking about it is really helpful for people to not feel siloed during COVID and things like that too. Doing this project during COVID especially was helpful for me to feel engaged and, you know, use my hands and use my voice and feel connected. So
Wonderful. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thanks.
being a part of our show.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I know also this is a part of the Portland Textile Month, is that right?
Yeah, so as part of, this is one piece of the overall project that I'm doing. There's also an installation up right now at Cat and Mouche, which is a amazing, beautiful Moroccan vintage rug store, just a couple blocks from here. So there's other pieces. Also, there are
quilted tapestries that display the 5 most said words during these conversations, ones that got repeated and repeated over and over again. So it's really interesting to see what words were consistent across lots of people. And then also a part of it is a community quilt. So I'm asking people, still ongoing, I send them a quilt square anywhere in the country. We've had 45 people so far, so 45 quilt squares. And people embroider their answer to that question. I email them prompts. We've done Zoom stitch and conversation sessions during COVID. It's been amazing. And so what's up over there, in addition to the 5-word tapestries, are also the community quilt squares. And then also an interactive wall with posters like this, where people can write in their own answer. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with them?
Go to my Instagram if you'd want to participate. If you want a square, I can email you a square to embroider, or if you want to write in a word, you can type it in. There's a form in the link in my bio where you can just type in a word, and if you don't feel comfortable or don't have time to go down to the gallery, I can write it in for you. So you can really be a part of the conversation that way too.
Great. What is your Instagram?
Great question. It is kind of complicated. It's snacks, and it's SN, 3 A's and 2 X's.
Okay. And I'll find that and post it in the comments later so people can find it for you.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to give everyone another tour of the show. Have you
Great.
had a chance to see it yet?
I haven't.
Oh, you should.
I want to go in. Oop.
Here we go.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not.
Hello. Hi. I wish I will look forward to rewatching the recording to hear you talk about your piece out there. So great. I think you are number 10. So come on. Yeah. Yep. You got it. I'm a little late.
Hello.
No, you're fine. As long as you made it through.
Okay.
I am filming Facebook Live. Let's see, we haven't looked closely at this piece yet. This is by Stephanie Hatch. It's called A Few Titles. And it's collage and embroidery on paper. If there are any works that you want to see more closely or have any questions about, let me know. Myra's here. Hi, Myra. How you doing, Kelsey? Good. How are you? Good. Ah, yes. Let's see how they work. We'll show everyone on Facebook if that's all right.
Sure, if I can, my phone doesn't recognize me with the mask on.
I know, it's a constant problem these days.
Okay.
All right, so you go to your camera.
Yes, which one should I go to? I'll do here.
Nope, you click the, nope, don't take a picture. You click the link on the top. See how this popped up? So you click the link, and it should take you. I think our internet may be slow because I'm using it for the video streaming.
But I do think it's a great flip book. I went through and looked at everything since I put it together.
Well, Myra also helped a lot with the flip book for the program, for the show as well, and that looks beautiful.
Yes, it's was really fun, and I love it. I think it's great. And Kelsey, thanks for all you did on that website.
You're welcome.
It's amazing.
So it popped up with the flip book?
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm going to
Close the ad.
close the ads. Oh, I like the, okay.
All right.
Still pretty slow here.
Elevator music cue.
Yeah.
Go.
Just trying to get the flip book open.
There's a request to see here.
Ooh, I gotta go talk about my painting.
Yeah. When it comes open, I'll come over.
Yeah, come find me. Okay. Let's go see here. Okay, here is my painting here. It's a 24 by 36 oil on linen, and it is a painting of my mother and stepfather. My stepfather had a health scare last year, and he's still with us, but this painting is all about that fear of losing your loved one, wanting to hold on, and right now it's also really about contact for me. With the quarantine, we can't hug people anymore, and that is something that I truly miss and want to have again. But I love the hands on this. I also love painting hands in general. And I think that it's really interesting in this painting how, for me, so much emotion can be conveyed without faces, with just some hands and some body language. And I think that's really powerful. So, yeah, that's about my painting. Let's look at the one next to it. This is an archival pigment print photo by Alice Christine Walker called Embrace. And I think this show is hung really well. It just flows from piece to piece, which is kind of difficult to do with a group show. I think it all meshes well together. Alice, do you want to say some words about your work?
Sure. Sure. Oh. Hello. I will take this off. So I was took part with one of the artist interviews that you guys will see on the Instagram or one of our channels as well. But yeah, I chose this piece. I think it's pretty clear, the depiction. It's two gay men in an embrace, and I think living in this picture was actually taken in Portland. I'm a street photographer, so all my images are unposed. I shot it with a 1950s twin lens Rolleiflex on film. And so I think this piece just really speaks to the universal nature of love, and that we live in Portland where we're very, very accepting, but not every place in the world is like that. And I think it's really important to document the LGBT community, not only here, but some of my work has documented it in Amsterdam Pride and other places as well. I'm really drawn to pictures of love and embrace, and showing people's authentic self. And I think there's a lot of people out there that might think that gayness, queerness, lesbian is a choice, and I picked this image because I think it's really clear to see that these two men love each other, and it's the same love that hetero people share as well. So yeah, that was my selection for this work, and it was a pleasure to share it. So come by and see it in person.
Thank you, Alice. All right. I'm going to check in with Edie again on the time. We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes, so we're going to talk to Christopher again.
All right.
The art.
Let's go make sure we know where Christopher is.
He is just walked inside.
Okay. Let's go find Christopher.
Are you missing to see the? Oh, hi. Great, perfect.
Another painting that we haven't looked at very closely by Janet McIntyre. It's called Remember, Encaustic and Mixed Media. 5 more minutes, Christopher, before we talked with you about the art. This one's interesting. It's a lot more detailed than it seems from far away. By Diego Morales Portillo. You can also see photos of all of the works in the show on our website, blackfish.com.
So we're going to come another time when it's not so.
Yeah, and if you sign up for the email list, they'll send you updates about what's happening and what's going on.
This one's interesting. It's by Christina Bell de Tullo. It's called We Three. And they are clear adhesive bandages and acrylic. Just another example of little details that you really have to see in person to see the artwork.
Yeah, no, that's great. Perfect.
Ramen. Who loves ramen? Admit you do.
How much you like your piece. So if you don't mind talking
It's
to us,
delicious.
we can let the rest of the artists in. We're great. No, well, you're good. I think we'll be good in a second, but Rita's here with her daughter, and I think we're just at capacity. So perfect. Great, of course. Oh yeah.
Okay. Here's another piece we haven't looked at too closely. It's a photo called Fan Book from Mary Virginia Jones by Terry McLean. Looks so delicate. Here's Yana's United Front. She's a Blackfish member. It's pastel on colored paper. Hi, Rita. Good. How are you? All right. Yeah. Christopher, shall we talk about the art and maybe the curatorial process a little bit more?
Yes.
Where would you like to be?
Shall we go over in the corner?
Let's do that.
Let's go over.
Okay, here's your microphone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is a pretty large group show. We have Blackfish members, artists. There are, I think, 14 of us that have work in the show. And we have a small number of invited artists whose work fits so well into the theme. And so when we were thinking about these topics and these times, there were certain artists where their work this is the way they always work to address these themes. So I'm standing in front of work by Hector Hernandez. He is somebody that I've known a long time, and he does a lot of very important muralist in our region and has done significant murals that talk about cultural understandings and history, and I know that he's going to be talking to you a little bit later about his work. And there are some others too that we invited who are just so perfect for the show. Then we opened up a call for artists and posted it in the Regional Arts and Culture Council bulletins, and also a lot of the other cultural organizations, all of those in the region that have postings for notices for artists. We got a lot of submissions. It was really encouraging. And there were 7 of us in the gallery that were on the jury. We assembled all of the images and shared them before we had our big jury meeting, so that everyone could preview them and be familiar with them and actually start making some decisions about which works that they that we're really drawn to. It was a very arduous, difficult process. It took hours for us, and we had to put pieces through several rounds. And we have a pretty nice space, nice sized gallery. We can accommodate a lot of work, but I wish we had a larger gallery because there was a lot of work that we wanted to show that we just did not have space for. And that's always hard to have to let something go that really needs to be seen. It's so important for right now. The work in here is so varied. Group shows are always a challenge to install. So last Sunday we did the installation. Actually, the night before, I was here till probably midnight doing an initial layout of the work, and then the install crew came in the next morning and said, okay, well, this is the first draft. Help me with the next 2 or 3 drafts. So it is fun. I love designing shows and finding which pieces really help each other when they're juxtaposed. Maybe the content is related or contrasting in a very interesting way. Sometimes there's some narratives that happen across a section of works. But there are artists working in all different media here. All of this work is two-dimensional work that's on the wall. Some of it has 3-dimensional elements that come off the wall a little bit, but because we have the Allied Be About Love Festival here, we did all of the many of the filming of those acts Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with a lot of filming and sound equipment. We just could not accommodate sculptures, so that was a decision we had to make because of COVID. That this show will be just a two-dimensional work, unless it's a 3D piece that hangs from the wall. And if we walk over here, you'll see what I mean. This is a section of, it's almost like a transept in some hall of worship. There are lots of pieces in this section that have, I think, strong spiritual iconography, different traditions from around the world. There's a meditative vibe, and you can see here Kane's piece. And there's it's a cruciform by Anjanette Escobar here that has some sculptural elements. She's carving on wood, engraving incised lines in wood, and then she carves all of the hands in polymer, and she uses some acrylic paint to build up her patinas. Now, if you come down to the gallery, you'll notice that there are these QR codes, and if you have the app in your phone, you can open up the QR code, and every single piece you can read the artist statement that what is behind the work. And we hope to also put the statement booklet as a flip book on the website. So on the website,
there's a PDF now.
There's a PDF already.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for doing that, Kelsey. Our camera operator is our webmaster. So I'm always bragging about the work that Kelsey does. Thank you, Kelsey. It's an amazing website. So if you can't come down to the gallery, we've tried our hardest to create a really nice experience for you, so that on the website there's a grid of all of the pieces, and if you hover your cursor over the piece, you can enlarge it to fill your screen. It's a high-res image. All of the label information is there, and then there's a PDF that's a flip book where you can look at the pieces in order and read about what the artist was intending. And you can also buy the art online. Yeah, and I noticed we have some red dots.
We do.
Already.
I think I counted 3 or 4 or something.
3,
like that.
yeah. So that's off to a good start. And this show, by the way, will be up through the end of November. So November 28th, it'll come down.
Yeah, we thought it was a good subject for both months.
Definitely. Yeah. I hope everyone out there is registered to vote.
We also have forms to register here.
And there are forms in the gallery, and also information on the website. If you look at our program, which is also a flip book, there's some information about how to get registered to vote.
Is there any other piece that you would like to highlight?
Well, yeah, all of them. You know, I've been looking at these, and so have you, Kelsey. We've been looking at them in the jury and afterward, and installing the show. And I have already just feel like I have a relationship with every piece in the show. I just love the variety. The American flag is interesting. One of the interesting pieces. Carol Benson is a Blackfish artist. She has a 4-year-old granddaughter, and Carol is a textile artist, and one of the things that she got busy doing was making masks for people that she knows and people that she doesn't know. And when she was making masks for her 4-year-old granddaughter, she had this idea to make more masks and to create this poignant American flag. And you can understand this piece on many different levels.
What about talking about your piece in the front window?
I would love to. Normally, I like to paint and do mixed media work. I work with a lot of bird iconography and do family history pieces too. And for this show, I had the idea of doing a neon piece. And so I worked with a family. They are out in the Montevilla neighborhood. It's called Artico Light. It's family owned. They've been there for 20 years, and I learned a lot about neon from them. This is I'm going to let you look at that. It says "Be About Love," which is the title of our festival. And for me, it's an important mantra, which is especially important now. It's something that when I'm feeling agitated or stressed out or mad or impatient or grouchy, I can close my eyes and breathe and just say this, and it really helps me stay sane.
I love that. And it's also the name of a music festival.
And it's also the name of a music festival, and it's also the name of, I wrote a song, Be About Love, and my band's latest album is called Be About Love. So it's kind of my saying, I guess.
Cool.
It's a good one.
What night is your band performing?
We are going to play on the 16th.
On the 16th. Okay. Great.
Yeah, Friday the 16th. We're going to open up for the Olivia Aubry Band. So we are my group is a family band. My wife plays accordion, and I play different stringed instruments, mostly the bouzouki. We play with these two brothers. They're also string players, so we play, the string players kind of mix it up, who's playing bass, this one, and that kind of thing. And then when we had percussion and drums, that was my father-in-law, jazz drummer, and then my brother-in-law. And we hope that with our next project that they'll come back, because it's going to be kind of drum heavy our next week, kind of working thematically. We do concept albums, so
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this one's pretty folky, the one that we just did. It's
I can't wait to listen to it.
Thank you.
All right. I'll take everyone on another tour of the gallery. Thank you so much, Christopher. And I'm going to reopen the door. Hi, Merridawn.
Hey, you.
She's here. What time is Merridawn speaking?
8 was what I was told.
8 o'clock?
So I came a little bit early.
It's 5 till? All right, we have 5 minutes. We'll do another tour.
Yeah, so tell me what's going on.
So we've had a performance by Stephen Cohen. We've done a few tours. We've had Christopher talk about the show, and Alicia talk about her Fishbowl piece in this part of Portland Textile Month.
Awesome. Which I heard got reviewed.
Yes, it was mentioned in the Oregonian, I want to say.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We've been telling everyone about our website and how they can see the show. And then you will talk about your work and poetry and whatever you want to talk about.
Okay, cool.
And
Are you
then
gonna ask me questions, or am I just gonna blather on?
either one. I'm sure I'll ask you questions as you blather on.
I'm great at both.
All right, I like both too. Let me do another tour, and then I will come back to you.
Okay, perfect.
And where would you like to meet?
Doesn't make any difference to me. Oh, where's Angela's piece? So that is one of the poems because Angela based her piece on a poem.
Okay.
Of mine.
All right.
So let's start it.
All right, sounds good. I'll meet you there in a few. If anyone wants to see a piece more closely, just let me know. Hey, Myra. Did the QR code and flip book work? No?
No, I'm sorry to say that on TV too, or on the video.
Well, that just means I have to fix it.
I'm hoping that we can have it just straight out on the website as well.
It's already on the website.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay, because I think the statements are very interesting.
They're really interesting to read. If you want to know more about each piece, go to our website. There's a PDF you can download or look at online and find out more about each of the works and what the artists think about them.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Another yogurt container.
What are we looking at?
So she picked out one of her favorite pieces, which is Bob or Robert Dizano's, and we're looking at it really closely, and we're kind of eye-spying.
It's like a hair dryer.
It's like a hair dryer.
It's a credit code right
It's a credit card? Yeah, what have we found? We found yogurt containers. We found rubber bands. We found... where?
on this green thing.
On that one?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a needle. I think that's just something to hold it down. Yeah, we were talking about how Bob collects, items that are thrown away, and he makes them into his art pieces. And it's actually been really fun to sit here and look through and find, candy wrappers. Yeah, another wrapper, pill bottles, all these things that we use once and we trash, and then he's...
That goes to that.
That bottle? That bottle's got a stop on it. Yeah. Yeah, another, like a gift card, too. Just to see how all these things that we waste... She's got better insight than I do. And a fire alarm. Yeah.
I bet if you press the button, it would go off.
I hope not. I don't know if we know how to turn that off. We'd have beeping in the gallery, but yeah, it's fun to see a piece through the eyes of a young adult, making sense of the world, and like I said, how we treat the world, and we throw things away, and then have Bob's making it into beautiful art. So
I love it.
Yep, great. It is. It's like I see the word Korean. So it's a Korean ginseng tea. That sounds pretty delicious, huh?
Hey, it's like a little bottle stuff.
It is like another little bottle.
All right, I think it's about time for us to go get Merridawn and talk to her.
Somewhat getting closer to a normal hairstyle.
No, you look beautiful.
It's true I didn't recognize you, but you look very pretty.
You can pull off a lot.
It's true.
Shall we go talk?
That's right.
All right.
And this.
off the mask, right?
Yes, you can. And there's also a microphone so that we can hear you better.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab a quick glass of wine.
Okay, sounds good. Let's look at the painting that was inspired by one of Merridawn's poems. I don't know the story behind this. I'm really excited to learn about it. Seems like there's also a poem on Francesca Lauren Ferrera's paintings. Okay.
Okay, girl.
Here she is.
Yay.
Here's your microphone. Put
Okay.
it to your shirt, please, or jacket.
Like that?
Yes, perfect.
I love this setup.
I know, we're so professional.
I
now.
know. Is this all yours?
It's a mishmash of other ones, actually. Like the true cooperative.
Kelsey, I just want you to follow me around the whole rest of the week so my deep thoughts can get recorded and I have somebody to talk to.
It would be my pleasure. If you want her painting in there, we have to go a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect.
So the reason why I wanted to stand here to start was because this is a piece by Angela Pasalacqua, who is a great friend of mine, and I think a beautiful piece, but it was based on a poem I used in a show here. Yeah, I know. So remember the library show I did with my brother? Okay, so there was a poem there called The House Rests, and Angela called me and said, I'm really taken by the poem. It had sort of classical themes, which is very common for her. And she's like, can I use it for a painting? I'm like, are you kidding? Yes, 1,000 times yes. And I love what she did with it. Here, the warriors, you know, it's all about Penelope, who, as everyone knows, keeps her suitors away while she's waiting for her husband, who may or may not return, by unraveling all the knitting that she says, when I'm done making this tapestry, this, what some people have said was a shroud, then I'll marry one of you. And then at night she unravels it. So that was just part of the poem. And so I think here she is, here are the warriors. I'm not sure what this piece is here, little ship coming in from Ulysses. I mean, it's so beautiful.
That seems like a moon up top, or maybe some part of weaving or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, waiting. She's sort of at the widow's walk, you know, waiting for her husband to come back from sea. And this is one of the things I love about being in the gallery as the only writer member, is that, I mean, once in a while I'm lucky enough to inspire a piece, but I myself am very inspired. I often write poetry, essays, short stories even, based on things that I either hear in the meeting, or I see on the walls, or I hear from you guys. So it's been fantastically fruitful for me.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. So what are you planning on doing for your poetry or your performance on Friday? Right?
So on Friday the poets are reading, and I'm honored to read with them. We recorded it all last night. Their work is political, thank God, and mine was more love poems based on the love, including a poem that inspired this painting. And so that's the poetry. And then the performance was kind of a challenge, because when Christopher said we're going to do a month-long festival about love, I thought, well, I'll take the sex part. Because, you know, it's part of love, right? It's sexy. Yeah, you give a physical part. So I was all excited. I was going to do this like interactive thing with the audience. All gone. All gone. So we had to really pivot, and I was super grumpy about it because I really liked what I was doing. But I had Jamie M. Ray, who's a fantastic collaborator of mine. I knew she would help me. And so I looked around for what are the platforms that are really working now. And I'm afraid to say I don't really like Zoom, you know. So many of them are just so static and weird, and I've seen plays on Zoom, and it's all kind of artificial. But there is one platform I love, and that's TikTok. I love TikTok. Every day when I'm like so stressed out, I just need to see some people telling jokes, singing, dancing. I get my little TikTok break. So I said, let's use that platform since I love it. And it's kind of sexy in a way. You know, it is. And so let's base it on TikTok. And then I picked a song I really like from the opera Carmen. It's her, I don't know, do you know opera?
I know Carmen.
Yeah, so everyone knows that song that comes on, right? That's Carmen's signature song, Love is Like a Little Bird that flies away when you try and grab it. And I rewrote, I translated the lyrics, new translation of my own. And then I said, we're going to lip sync it like we're on TikTok, and with a whole variety of people. And we're going to, we're going to base it on what I consider kind of a sexy song.
That sounds so fun.
I think it's going to be super fun.
To see it.
It's going to be really good. It's called Closer, and it's kind of about touch and contact, which we're all missing so much. About sexual times and just being bodies in space and all that. But
the whole sense of like distance and personal space is changing so much right now.
Yeah. We walk every night. I was walking down at the waterfront, and I saw a guy give another guy a big hug, and I'm like, it was like shocked me and also was so moving. When are we all hugging again?
Yeah, my painting at the front, it's changed for me right now because it is about that physical contact and how that brings us so much comfort.
Yeah.
And it's just lacking in our lives right now.
I agree, and I love that painting, and it's like, I don't want it to be a relic.
No. When my mother came back towards the beginning of quarantine, she had a sheet waiting when I went to go see her, and she threw it over the top of me so she could give me a hug.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, my daughter-in-law's parents are very, very isolated. I've been out and about a little more probably than I should, but they had this thing where you could stick your hands in, almost like those medical things.
Yes, I've seen those.
When they all gave each other hugs, but
I think people find a way
to
have contact.
Oh yeah.
And it's like you, is reimagining your performance.
Yeah, exactly. And this is creativity, right? And I used to tell my students, freedom is bad for artists in a certain sense. Restriction is good for them because then they have to think around those restrictions.
Yes, or break them.
Or ignore them, or deny them.
Yes, which makes doing that even more powerful.
Exactly. But that friction of coming up against a difficult thing, really important in painting, writing, and all kinds of art. So I told my students, but I didn't like it applied to me.
When is your next show? You just had one this year at Blackfish.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a show, I hope, in August of 2021.
Okay.
And which is based on land art, sort of re-examination of land art from a whole bunch of new perspectives. I think it'll really be fun, and it'll be in the gallery and also offsite, where people can go, because there'll be installations offsite on a piece of land.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. I've been doing a lot of reading Robert Smithson, a whole bunch of other land artists that I really admire, but that was all 60s, 70s. It's time to reimagine that, bring it back, modernize it, get some new voices in it, and it's always been a passion of mine. I think that's where you go. What's the stuff you love?
Right.
Absolutely. So that's coming August 2021, I hope.
I can't wait. All right. Well, when is your performance is Friday, and people can go online to see it?
Yeah, I'm reading with the Latinx poets. They're all Latino except me, and got a chance to hear Alberto Moreno, who is a wonderful writer and human being, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I've heard that Christopher said he was crying at the last one, so I'm expecting poetry to do its thing, which is to rouse us, make us cry, make us think, and really the poets, they belong here. Poetry and visual art have always had such a strong relationship.
Absolutely. They both invoke emotion, and I think that is very powerful.
Yes. And they also are in, some art forms in fiction or even playwriting to a certain extent, they take a long time, so they can't always be that topical. But poetry is sometimes fast, because it's your emotions. And sometimes art, too, you make it quickly and you can really talk about what's happening to us right now. So I love that about both those forms. They can address immediate things.
Yeah, and I think this show especially is very timely. I mean, it was planned that way, but...
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I think I said this in the interview that Christopher wanted to do something about love, because he's like, love is his thing. It's not that he doesn't feel despair or, or sadness. I mean, Christopher's a very feeling guy, but when he said, the topic is love, I'm like, of course, it's you. And I was so honored to be part of organizing it. Regional Arts and Culture Council, thank them so much for funding us. Wilsonville Arts and Culture Council. I mean, these people have stepped up because I think the topic is so timely. I mean, it never isn't, but now in particular.
Yeah. We also have a GoFundMe to help out additionally.
Yes, I've been sending that GoFundMe around, and I hope it really takes fire, because that, the show is up and it's great and people should come buy the art, and that's fantastic. But people have poured their lives and souls into this, and we want these artists to be paid, and that's what that GoFundMe does. They're getting stipends, but for all they put in, they deserve so much more.
Yeah.
I feel like people are going to see the performances and be really moved by it, and you want to do something, you know what? There's your chance.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Let me put the microphone back, and I'll give everyone another tour before we get to our Q&A.
Thank you.
Good talking to you. All right. If anyone has any questions for artists, write them in the comments so we can ask them. Let's check in with Edie on the time. 8:15. So we have 5 more minutes until the Q&As. All right.
Do you have an exhibit?
Huh?
Is Stephen going to play music? I did.
I don't think so. No.
My name's Justin. I thought
I know. I liked it too. It was fun.
Yeah, no, I just
super sick.
Yeah, I have
All
been
right.
expanding out from street photography and analog to like, hey, I do other things.
If there are any pieces or works that you want to see more closely, just say so in the comments and I'll take you over. You can also see them online. We have some high-res photos of all of the work. But a video is also nice sometimes. For example, this one is actually really dimensional and interesting to see in person. You can come by the gallery on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. We're open from 11 to 5. You can also make an appointment with our director, Kristen Solomon, by emailing director@blackfish.com.
Brian has, every time we travel and we go somewhere, he's like, all my pictures are like, here's the great.
Okay. I am going to find a place to put you guys down for a moment so I can rest my hands. But stay tuned. In a few minutes, we'll have some artist Q&As. If you have any questions for the artists, please put them in the comments, and we will hear from them soon.
About love politik. So it's a combination of artist members and other artists from the Pacific Northwest joined. So yeah, check it out. Great, yay!
Okay, no worries. I think if you want, I'm thinking about the question to ask. Okay. Because I don't think we ever actually decided that.
Yeah, do you want to ask Christopher really fast to see if there was any, or if it was just artists wanting to chat?
What question should we ask?
The basic one is what did you want to convey in your work as you thought about this theme? How did you think you would relate it to this theme?
You don't know. You do not know. That's okay. I'm not really.
You don't have to. There's no pressure.
I know.
Hello, how are you doing? Are you one of the artists? Awesome. Welcome on in. Merridawn is.
She is.
Here. She's right there. But yeah, we're perfect.
Hello, Merridawn's husband.
Hi, Brian.
Because I was still getting to know people.
Okay, everyone. I have libations and I'm ready to take you on another tour. In a few minutes, we will have some conversations with some artists. Let me gather the cord here. Has gone a few places. All right. Okay, who are we talking to?
We had Sal as well, so we have two artists for the next section to talk about their work. Would you like to start?
Yeah, let's talk to E. Pavas.
E-Paves?
E. Paves? Is it E. Paves or E. Pavas? Josh?
Josh. Okay, we
Josh
whatever
works
you
as well.
want to call it, it's great. So
Okay, let's go stand by your work.
Okay.
And here's the microphone if you'd like to clip it to yourself.
Okay.
And you can take your mask off just for this part if you
Want
feel
to?
comfortable doing so.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about your work.
Well, so I made this. This is really kind of an obvious piece because it's David versus Goliath. And there was a time in 2020, towards the end of March, and for really about 3 months, where usually our Goliaths, your Goliath, my Goliath, they're all going to be different. Things that feel overwhelming to us and that we're fighting against. But there was a section of time, about 3 months, where it really kind of felt like all of us had that same.
Hi everyone, sorry about that, my phone died. We are back with Josh again talking about his work, and we'll have a few more artists talking about theirs for this show as well. So hope you come back and stay with us. Here is Josh.
Hi there. This is my piece. It's a sort of iconic underdog versus an overwhelming adversary. And usually during the course of your Goliath is going to be different than mine. The thing I was expressing about that seems too huge for me. It felt like between March and maybe May, we had a chunk of time where we shared this adversary, this Goliath. We were all worried about work. We were all worried about the economy, this flu bug. And there was a time there where everyone that you ran into, if you were able to get out of the house, you felt like you were fighting that same adversary. And that's rare for us. We're starting to slip back out of it. And I hope we don't, because it also felt like there were a lot of conversations around that time where it was like, what if this is a big reset? What if this is our opportunity to do better? To let love be the thing that motivates us, and kind of shy away from our own self-interest and really kind of come together in a united way against a common adversary, whatever that adversary may be. And so that's kind of the story with this piece is that I sort of felt like we were all fighting this same person, this same problem. And my hope is that on the other end of this, we will have learned and realize that if we come together in a united way, it doesn't matter how small we are. It doesn't matter how little we are if we're all together on this.
That's beautiful, thank you. All right, give you a little bit of a closer look at Josh's work. And let's go find our next artist. And here she is, it's Sal. All right.
Sorry.
And this is your work here on the right?
Yes, this is my work.
There's so much detail in it.
I tend to be hyperactive. I'm a high energy girl and very prolific. And first I'll just explain the medium real quick. It's on cheesecloth and silk. And this actually was on a piece of paper. And then I put a lot of acrylic medium on it and pulled it off. And I do that because I'm trying to really let my work be free, let it breathe. Because I kept trying to get my paintings to have more energy and excitement. And I tend to be a political artist, a social political artist. And so I'm always doing something that has meaning, because to me, all art has meaning. But to me, the world's a flush of gorgeous, fantastic paintings. And I always want to just do gorgeous, fantastic paintings because they really are fun. But then I feel like there's this inner part of me that feels like I need to add to the world instead of, anyway, so I try and do both. And I am an optimist, and I think all this shit we're going through is a very, very positive thing on the other side. And it's definitely not now. But I really believe on the other side, because we're ripped, we're stripped bare. recovering alcoholic, and it's where they say you have to hit rock bottom, you know, for people to change. And we've hit rock bottom. I mean, I don't see us getting any lower.
I'll say that.
Well, I believe we won't get any lower.
There we go.
And I personally believe the people that are saving us are the kids, the young people. So when I was looking at this, I thought, okay, who are the activists? I mean, of course, Martin Luther King and James Baldwin, and there's all the people we know. But to me, it's these young people, like the March for Life kids that got up and spoke, and the Women's March, and just, I was just so impressed with the young people. And so that these are all people that are kids, not kids, they're between 7 and 27. So it's called nine activists, 7 to 27, saving humanity. And the little girl, so fascinating up here, she actually was only 5, and she was, because she was born in America, so she's one of them that, it's not DACA, it's DACA or something like that.
No, it's DACA.
No, this one is
Oh.
a different one. This is where she could live here because she was born here, but her parents can't because they weren't born here. So it's called DADA, but it's not DACA. You don't know. And Emma's my, I mean, I just love Emma Gonzalez with March for Life. She's my hero. And this girl, I've just been looking up. So I've been, actually, this one, she's in a bunch of movies. And she's so smart. It's so fun to like do YouTubes and listen to these girls. I mean, they're just really, really smart. You know, people that are coming up. And I think they're really, we're going to have like the largest turnout, and all these young people are just going to be like, move over guys, we're messing up our big time. It's time for us to take charge. So I'm a optimist. I really think that good things are going to come in the next few years.
That's wonderful. That's really a lot of the spirit of this show of be about love and the love politik and the optimism of coming together. So that fits right in.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm like an AOC fan. I have an AOC for president 2028 already. And I'm super excited about the freshman class and how things are shifting.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's go find our next artist, who I think is going to be Myra. And here she is. All right. I talked about your piece earlier. You know I love gold leaf.
I know you do. So you can appreciate gold leaf.
I definitely appreciate gold leaf. And egg tempura is so difficult as well.
I really love egg tempura.
Yeah?
It is really fun to work with. I think the thing about this kind of painting is that it is just gesso powder with highlighted gesso.
Okay.
And there's like 12 to 15 layers of it. So the egg tempera just can sink into that. And you can layer and layer for so many years.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty special that way, and I really love doing it. I like to do something that is, I've only done it with icons, and I'd like to kind of take that on to some other kinds of pictures as well.
Okay.
I want to say about this that, for one, I feel really out of the thing to put in a specific to religious object into a secular setting. It's just me personally, because it, kind of gets into the personal area, and I love that, but on the other hand, I'm not trying to, I don't want people to feel imposed upon by having it out there. But I will say that the reason this came up thinking about the show is because it's, for one, what is the relationship of the mother and child have to do with politics? Well, it has everything. You think about child care, you think about what women have to go through in order to be able to get the education they need worldwide. There's so much about women and children that's so important and that is being reflected in our political times. And the other thing I think about is the image of Mary and Jesus themselves. That she shows the sign of Jesus, who is all about justice and freeing how old stories are made, how every generation has to bring into their own lives their values and the way they look at them. And it's been happening since the very beginning. So I think that having something that reflects on that old tradition coming into today's is very valuable for them to know.
I agree. I love it. Let's take a closer look. By the way, Jennifer Gills Cutshell says hello.
Oh, nice.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Myra. Okay.
We got Francesca Lauren Carrera next to talk about her piece as well.
All right. Hello. Let's go look at your work.
Hello, Kelsey.
Hi. I'm well. How are you?
Very well.
Good. It's wonderful to see you.
Wonderful to see you as well.
Okay. Tell me about your work.
Well, so this work is a big departure from my normal sculptural installations, and it originated during an invitational in San Diego where I was invited to work with cross-border artists from Mexico and the indigenous populations there. And so we were talking about what it meant to be cross-border. And so I took the opportunity to imagine, I have a grandfather named Jose Carrera, and he came from South America. I don't know his story. It's been a mystery in the family all these years. And I decided that I would depart from my normal work and do something personal, which was imagining his life. And so I used the idea of the Spanish Old World retablos, which were divine paintings and altarpieces, you know, really based in Catholicism, in traditional Catholicism. And so I thought about when the missionaries and the Crusaders came to the New World, basically the art form changed from religious art per se to small religious art based on, you know, the materials that were there and a personal relationship with God. So in the New World, the work was done on whatever was at hand, which was often just small pieces of art, wood or metal, and they were done by itinerant artists or local artists, very folk-like and primitive in some respects. But primarily they were devotional pieces where they illustrated an example of a very important day in the life of a very dangerous thing that had happened in their life, maybe a car accident, illness, a sickness, someone they loved, and they prayed to God. So there was a divine intervention, and they were in gratitude for such a thing. So in compassion with all of the people who have crossed borders over the years, I imagine my grandfather's plate, perhaps, but so many others, and I was in gratitude to their stories as well. Sharing with me. So I tried to imagine what my own grandfather might have gone through. These are all poetic interpretations of some things using symbolism always of the divine, Mary, saints, Jesus, and oftentimes like parrots are really strong archetypal icons in South America, and they're messengers between the earth and God. And so they carry, messages back and forth between the humans and the divine.
Oh, wow.
So I try to, this is the border wall. These are all oil paintings and then collage with it. So I kind of did a little bit of both, and then I wrote the same. And so it's been really interesting to me to do personal work, and I take commissions. Now where I do other people's personal stories. In retablo form, which means hidden behind the altar. So I love that because my story is hidden also.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Me, and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's take a closer look.
So these are on tin and in typical format, but.
Perfect. And we have Noah, who's just arrived to talk about his piece as well.
All right, let's go.
Over and he will come and talk about his work for us. I'll hand you over to Noah.
Hi, Noah.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty well.
Cool.
Excited to be here. It's good to take off my mask. I can't talk with a mask on.
I know, yeah. All right, so this is your work here?
Yeah, this one. The title is The Disfigurement of Our Most Cherished Ideals in Pursuit of the Physical Embodiment.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this work was kind of, I guess, inspired by my own feelings and experiences with a lot of kind of the political movements I've been a part of throughout the years. It's like one thing I've noticed inside myself over and over is this tendency to get almost swallowed up by something and kind of ideal with it. It's so easy, I think, sometimes to, we pursue these things that we feel so strong about. And so often the physical reality that we actually have to, confront that and what it looks like, and just kind of all the messy realities of the world itself can oftentimes turn our attentions into things very different than where we're coming from. And I guess how it relates to the show, and I specifically like that it's the love politic, because for myself, one thing I found is that it's often, in all the messy chaotics of this world, it ultimately ends up not being so much our plans to work out, future results, and so no matter how carefully we kind of try to make sure that things go according to plan, oftentimes our intents go astray. And so it seems frequently to me that what ultimately ends up becoming the results of actions is the actions themselves. And this idea of, perhaps we can get to some idealized future through corrupted means has not really played out for me personally. And so I love this idea of love politic because that is actually, I find, what ultimately influences our actions and our intents, where they're coming from. So it's this work. And I guess it tries to portray a very specific moment where I felt that happened to me.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you a part of the show.
So happy to be here.
Yeah. Let's take
back on now.
take a closer look.
Well, thank you. I didn't hear the show.
It's great. Perfect. And next up, we have Pamela to talk about her work. So this is Pamela.
Hi, Pamela. All right. Voila. And this is your work here.
This is my work. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage.
Ah.
That's a quote from Anais Nin.
I love Anais Nin.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
She is really amazing.
So I began photographing women in silhouette a couple years back, basically to try and bring out, and I was photographing women over 50 originally, and I was trying to bring out their sexuality and their power and their grace without revealing some of the things like age and other personal information. And I really began to expand on that, and in this series called Searchers, Seekers, and Sirens, I've added text behind it. And the text is really kind of obscure, that's why the title is the complete quote, so that you know what's going on behind there. And so I started, the first series was already flowers, and now I've added domestic items like watering cans and candles and lanterns and cameras and things like that that I'm photographing. And behind it I'm adding some text that helps to connect the images and the women's figures to some historic ideas and kind of adverse some issues that women have been dealing with throughout history.
Right.
And to address this.
What do you think about your piece in context with this show?
In context of the show is about love. Plus, I think that right now our society is like so full of perversion and all kinds of issues like that are going on in society. And so I was really interested in trying to, talk about love and trying to bring people back together and trying to find a way to so I'm really interested in trying to help connect people to the heart.
Absolutely.
So sexuality and the heart, and having that openness.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. We're so glad to have you be a part of the show. All right, let's take a closer look. Okay. I think that is all the artists that we have, unless let's check in with Alice and see if there's anyone else that we have to talk about their art.
I think we were actually grabbing Christopher to see if he wanted to just remind you guys of the other events coming up and what days you could join us and all the just the little details before we call it night. So.
All right. Would you like to stay here or shall we go into the gallery? All right, that sounds good too. You should also remind people about the GoFundMe.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us tonight for this virtual First Thursday celebration. A wonderful group of artists in the show, which we invite you to come down and see for yourself in person. It's a different experience. You see all the layering and patinas and wonderful detail that people put into their surfaces. If you can't, again, go to our website. There are wonderful virtual amenities there. We try to deliver the best possible alternative to coming down physically. Also, don't forget that tomorrow night the festival kicks off. Singers and songwriters and poets rather, tomorrow night at 7:30. But if you're late, it's a premiere event. You can start it at 10 p.m. if you like. And we have gotten generous grants from the Regional Arts and Culture Council, RAC, the Wilsonville Arts and Culture Council, private donors, anonymous donors, and we are still looking for contributions that will help us with this programming and supporting all of our artists and performers. And so we have on the website a GoFundMe feature that you can click and decide how much you would like to donate. And you'll notice too that there are certain perks if you donate at certain levels. And all of that goes toward bringing you this programming and supporting our performers and the people behind the scenes. We are a not-for-profit gallery, and this is an important cause that we are all pouring our hearts and souls into. A very important time to bring this particular programming during this month. So remember to register to vote and stay positive. Be about love. We need that because there's a lot dragging us down in a different direction. And so if we all remember to get strength through love from each other and through art and to express those inexpressible things that visual art and performing arts can do. They can describe those kinds of things that are just beyond having the adequate words for. So this is a powerful month of multidisciplinary arts, and we're happy to share it with you. Take care.
Thank you.